What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and I have in my hands two pretty media-rich devices on their respective carriers. One, the Apple iPhone 4 out of Verizon as of earlier in the month, obviously been on AT&T since last year, and then the Samsung Galaxy S 4G on T-Mobile as of, just after Mobile World Congress on the 23rd. Both are $199, both have 5-megapixel cameras, the Galaxy S 4G TouchWiz resembles iPhone almost to a T. You can see the similarities there. So which one's the one to choose? We're going to find out. But special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile. They're hooking us up with two of these for use in our One Paw Bandit game. One thing I like about Best Buy Mobile is you do actually walk out working, so they'll help you set up all of your stuff. Enough of that, let's get into the dogfight. Let's load up messaging on both of these devices to give you an idea of the keyboard options in between. Let's cancel this out. That's what the messages look like on the iPhone. And honestly, who hasn't seen all this stuff on the iPhone? But I just want to go through it anyway. You can see the messages, the way they'll formulate once you have more than one message. But that's what it looks like, and of course you can search through them. Now it's going to bring up a new message by default since I don't have any messages in my inbox currently. And here's what the new messages look like on the Galaxy S. So we can type something like, hey, we'll send it to Billy Bob, and we'll type hey. Now you'll notice that looks a little bit familiar. Well, the reason why is because to me it's resembled after the iPhone. So you come back here and we'll type hey. Hey, that looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? The chat bubbles. So you can see very, very, very familiar there. Now, this one only comes with one keyboard, and it's the traditional Apple keyboard. But that said, to me, at least in terms of virtual keyboards, it's one of the best, if not the best on the market. I would definitely give it somewhere between either the iPhone keyboard or HTC Sense keyboard. And Motorola's multi-touch keyboard's fantastic as well. So, we'll do Quick Brown Fox, Lazy Bear. Quick Brown Fox jumped over the Lazy Bear. And of course you can use this in portrait or in landscape mode like any of the other devices. And you can lock it in portrait mode. I'm not a big fan of landscape mode, so I usually lock my device in portrait. Now this has FaceTime, which is kind of the built-in, as you know, the built-in video chat software. So if this person does have FaceTime, I can chat with them, I can add the contact, or I can call it directly from the messaging prompt. So you see the keyboard, very easy to type on, has a nice click to it. As you can see, the keys are spaced equally, and it has a pretty decent auto-correction software. That's what it looks like on the numeric pad, and that gives you an idea of the iPhone keyboard. Now, this one comes with two. It comes with the Samsung keypad and swipe, which is what you're seeing here is the Samsung keypad. Here's what swipe looks like, and you can use swipe, which I'm not very good at. Let's go back to Samsung keypad, and we'll type in, the Quick Brown Fox. And I have auto-correction turned on. The Quick Brow Fox is awesome. So you can see, it's a decent keyboard. It's not, to me, it's not as good as the stock Android keyboard, but it's certainly doable. There's what it looks like in landscape mode. And you can download stuff from the Android market as well, like SwiftKey, a couple of the others. And then, of course, you can sideload keyboards like Motorola's multi-touch keyboard, HTC Sense, etc., etc. So if this keyboard isn't your thing and you're comfortable with sideloading, you could sideload some keyboards. If you want to buy one from the Android market, you can download a fantastic one called SwiftKey, and that may be something that appeals to you as opposed to the stock keyboards. Now, here's where, to me, in my opinion, the iPhone blows Android out of, or iOS rather, blows Android out of the water. The ecosystem is just phenomenal on iOS. Out of the box, within 10 minutes, I can be downloading music, I can be downloading apps, I can be downloading whatever. I can download apps, no problem, through the Android market, but when it comes to music, I can't. It's just not as functional, it's not as fluid. But here's what the Android market looks like. You can see it's the revised version. Carousel up top, kind of nice new design, apps, games, and T-Mobile. So we go to apps, we'll download one, just as an example. Go to top free, and so it's basically the same as before, but they've redesigned it a little bit and made it a little bit more user-friendly. Let's go to Pandora. I feel like this is the application I download every time. But you can see the description, you can see the screenshots, reviews, related, developer info, and more. So you click free, and instead of that screen popping up saying, we need your permissions for this, this, and this, it comes up down here. So we can accept, OK, and it'll pop up in the notifications bar that it's being downloaded. Now the notifications bar is a little bit different on this one versus the Vibrant. You have some different icons. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, which that dark blue means it's turned on. Silent and auto rotation. I actually have auto rotation yet turned on this one as well. So you can see it successfully installed, and that's what that looks like. Now, in this one, you have the App Store, of course, and the App Store is the largest on the market right now, with several 100,000 apps, and excuse me, and it's just a fantastic app store. And that said, there are a lot of stupid apps in this as well. So let's trade off, the common argument between Android fans and iOS fans. iOS fans will say, "Oh, we have more apps," and Android fans will say, "Well, ours are more quality." So something to keep in mind. But there are a lot of frustrations. Don't get me wrong; it may be a fantastic app store, but you download something like, we'll download Facebook. No, I already have Facebook on here. We'll download Pandora on this one as well. Let me pull it away so I can put in my password, and you could see what it looks like. I think I put it in wrong, but I'm not going to retry. But you get the idea. You download, you put in your password, you download. Now here's the interesting thing. There are some little annoyances, like whenever you update applications, you have to put in your password. I get that for downloading applications. I don't get that for uploading or for updating applications. So you get my point with the media integration on the iPhone 4. And if you're looking for some great media applications or music applications on your Android device, head over to phonedog.com. We've done several articles on some good alternatives. What I want to take you into now are the mail applications on these respective devices, and you can see the differences. Same Gmail account on two different devices. So you can see what it looks like here. iPhone, very clean, very fluid. Now, clean and fluid doesn't necessarily mean the best, but you can see, again, the transition effects are fantastic. Even though they take longer, you can see, the consumer eye is kind of pulled away by that nice transition effect, and they don't realize the added time. But you can see what they look like here. Now, you can archive, you can edit and do several, and you can archive them. Or let's archive, for example, let's not archive those. Let's archive one down here. We'll do archive the Google Voice one. So it's archived, but the frustration here, for me at least, you have 19 emails in the morning you wake up to, and you want to delete them, or you want to mark them as read even. Click, 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 click. You can't do that on iOS. You've got to hold here, go up, go down, go down, go down, go down, until you've read through all of the emails. So it's very frustrating as opposed to something like this where you click, 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 hit it. Now, because these are red, it's showing mark on red. We'll pull it back out. Mark red, deselect all. Very simple, very easy to do. And then, of course, this is the newer version of Gmail that you're familiar with from a lot of my videos, most likely, and you'll see that the header stays at the top. So, no matter where you are in the email, you have the opportunity to reply all to forward, and you can see by clicking that I can pull those out. And then, of course, archive and delete and move on to the next email down below. Camera quality on both of these devices. Now, I hate to spoil the fun for you, but I'm going to be honest with you. The iPhone's camera is miles ahead of most other smartphones on the market, with the exception of perhaps the N8 and some of Sony Ericsson's 12 megapixel options, things like that. Now let's take a look at the camera on the Galaxy S first. No flash on this camera. It does have autofocus, but it doesn't have a physical camera button. So we'll see. We'll wait for it. We'll press it, let it focus in. And there's what it looks like. Now, it's certainly a fantastic camera, don't get me wrong, and actually the Galaxy S, I've said this from the beginning, on the Android devices, Galaxy S is still one of my favorites, even though it's 5 megapixels. Absolutely nice picture quality. Have been very pleased with it across the board. I mean, you can see very, very high quality, but to me, the iPhone still takes the cake in terms of overall picture quality. Now, I have HDR turned off. If you turn HDR on, you've probably worked with it before, but if you haven't, it gives you the HDR picture and then the non-HDR picture, and you could choose which one looks the best to you. I'll spare you the tech details. But you can see that's what it looks like. Let's actually get in a little bit closer. We're going to do the keyboard. You can see, zoom in. And this is what it looks like with HDR turned off. So wait for it to zoom in. So in my opinion, just absolutely fantastic picture quality. Even when zoomed in, very, very clear for a cell phone. So I would have to give, by landslide, not by landslide, that's not true, by a pretty narrow / mid margin, I'd have to give it to the iPhone 4 in terms of picture quality. Let's take a look at speed test numbers before we sign off, and you'll see that, obviously this device comes on AT&T as well, so this is not an accurate representation of what AT&T numbers are going to be like, but I can tell you they average between about 2 and 3.5 megabits per second, depending on the time of day that you test it. I mean, they've been higher, they've been lower, but that's the average. Now we can look at the speed test numbers on the Galaxy S 4G. They've been very, very fast. This is the first device to support 21 megabits HSPA+, megabits per second, rather, HSPA plus. It's a very fast device. It reflects it in the speed test. It regularly gets a download speed of about 5 megabits per second, sometimes over, sometimes lower, or over, under, but very close to that. This one averages between 1 and 2 megabits per second, but let's run the test and get an idea right now of what it's like. This one's very, and one thing I will give Verizon credit for, the data speeds may be slow or maybe kind of mediocre, but they're consistently mediocre. Obviously, Verizon's 3G network is at the point where it's very taxed. They're trying to move data stuff over onto LTE, at least at some point this year. So you'll start to see, hopefully you'll start to see that they get a little bit better, at least that's my hope. 1.3 megabits per second on the upload, about 0.6 megabits per second. You can see this is actually one of the lower numbers I've seen on the Galaxy S4G, 3.88 megabits per second. Let's do another one while this one's finishing up. Yeah, that's more like it, about 5.17 megabits per second on the download. You saw 0.57 on that one. And on the upload. And again, Verizon here, the AT&T iPhone, very different. And it's up and down depending on the day. This is Dogfight, and one of these has to be declared the winner. But let me tell you a couple things first. First, call quality has been very good on both of these devices. The earpiece is sufficiently loud. The issue I've had with this one, the noise cancellation isn't so great. Anytime the wind's blowing outside or I'm doing anything around the house, usually my caller's like, what are you doing? That's kind of loud. As opposed to the Galaxy S4G, I never really heard any complaints about call quality, or about call issues, anything like that. It was very quiet, so something to keep in mind. But call quality has always been very good on my end with the iPhone 4, and then the battery life is just exceptional on the iPhone 4 as opposed to Android as a whole. Thanks to the widgets, thanks to things like that, and of course Samsung's widgets. While they're few and far between, you can always add widgets based on the programs that you have. Feeds and updates, one of Samsung's widgets, for example, is constantly updating based on your social aggregation stuff, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. So, those things draw down power, and even though this has a 1650 milliamp battery, it's still, which is an improvement over the Vibrant's 1500 milliamp battery, it still can go down just, I got about just over a day with this one, whereas I can usually pull a day and a half out of the iPhone 4 with pretty heavy use. So, battery life's very good. I mean, I haven't charged this in 2 days, and you can see still at 14. It's at 14%. So battery life's been very good on the iPhone 4. It's been much better on the Galaxy S4G, but in terms of between these two devices, it's the iPhone 4. So the dogfight has to be declared, and I mean literally by narrow margin. Like, this one was a pretty hard one for me because I like both of these devices. But I have to narrowly give it to the iPhone 4. And let me tell you why, because everybody on YouTube right now, iPhone fanboy, and that's not the case at all. Let me tell you why. Design is very important to me. The design of this one is much better than the Galaxy S4G. I mean, it's very beautiful. Yes, it's prone to shatter if you drop it, but you just need to be careful with it. The camera's better on this one, and then the media ecosystem is far better on this one. You have the ability to download iTunes straight out of the box, no extra programs. What comes on it, you can take advantage of that. The App Store is out of the box, just like the market is on the Galaxy S4G. But out of the box, I can have my tunes. I can have, and once my iTunes ID is synced up, I can get those tunes downloaded in just a few minutes. So the ecosystem is going to matter to a lot of people, and you have that iPod functionality. So you download the music, it goes straight to the iPod, and you're in business. So something to keep in mind, if that's what's important to you, then I would say go with the iPhone. If you want the widgets, you want Android, you want something that kind of looks like the iPhone, which you get the benefit of Android 2.2, I'd say go with the Galaxy S4G. You really can't go wrong with either one of these devices. I think they're both great, and it was hard to declare a winner, but that's the winner. Let me know what you think in the comments. You think I'm a crazy, crazed fanboy? You think it's a smart decision? You think the Android device should have won? Let me know. I'm always open to hearing what you think, and I enjoy reading the comments. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/phonedog, and we're giving away prizes. We always give away stuff. And we have a new contest coming up in the coming weeks, so be sure to check that out. Facebook.com/phonedog. Be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, phonedog_Aaron. Let me know what you think on there as well. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Monday, and we'll see you next time.